Why y'all guys had to hype up George Kambosos for me? That dude is a bum, bro. Like, he's a bum, bro. That shit was one of the most one-sided fights I've ever seen in my life. Devin Haney gave George Kambosos a boxing lesson. He embarrassed him. I dare to say I probably gave this man 12 rounds, Devin Haney. I think it was a wipeout, a total domination. I mean, you guys, the boxing fans were hyping up George Kambosos because he beat Teofimo Lopez. And now he was undisputed. Or not undisputed, but he was a unified champion at lightweight. So everybody was like, "Oh, he bad. George Kambosos, he bad. He the truth. He beat Teofimo Lopez." So because he beat Teofimo Lopez, that means he's the truth, Joe Kambosos. He's the truth. But then this fight happens, and he gets totally dominated. He gets embarrassed, and he looks terrible. He looks like an amateur. He looks like he was confused, bewildered, befuddled, all in one. Like, he didn't know what he was doing. He looked amateurish. He was getting schooled. He got schooled by a 22, 23-year-old kid in Devin Haney. All right? It's like, everyone hypes up this guy, George Kambosos, saying that he's the truth because he beat Teofimo Lopez. But then he goes in here and he gets embarrassed in a one-sided humiliation, And this is why I said, I made a video in the past saying that George Kambosos, was a bum. I said that before he fought Teofimo Lopez. I said Joe Kambosos was a bum. And then people were like, "Oh, now you still call him a bum? Are you still going to call him a bum? He beat Teofimo Lopez." But just look what happens. He goes to fight Devin Haney, and he gets utterly dominated. So my opinion of him has not changed. He's still a bum. He just became a bum with a better profile and a better record when he beat Teofimo Lopez, who did not show up in that fight. But I'm just disappointed because, when you get hyped up, I was a little hyped up for this fight because everybody kept hyping up George Kambosos. He gonna do this. He beat Teofimo Lopez. He the truth. So for him to go in there and get utterly dominated in embarrassing fashion, it's like, dude, come on. It wasn't competitive, guys. It wasn't competitive. Devin Haney is levels beyond George Kambosos. It was an easy fight. It was one of those fights that was like, it was not competitive at all. It was a one-sided humiliation. Devin Haney dominated him, boxed him in circles, hit him at will, hit him to the body, hit him with uppercuts, hit him with jabs, dominated him with the jab, embarrassed him. George Kambosos was also slipping every punch George Kambosos was throwing. He was making him fall and, trip all over himself, during the entire fight. It was just an embarrassing thing. Like, he kept falling over. He was throwing wild punches. Out of desperation, George Kambosos was so desperate because he was getting embarrassed that he was trying to play dirty, and he was trying to, like, put his elbow on what's his name, on Devin Haney's face, and trying to, like, wrestle him like this is MMA. He was trying to body him to the floor. He was so desperate because he was getting embarrassed, So congrats to Devin Haney. He's the new undisputed lightweight champion, I believe. And he's right now, because he has all the belts, he's the best lightweight. He's the best, 135 pounder in the world until somebody beats him and proves me wrong. So all these guys, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, all these guys, fight him. See if you're better than him. I want these guys to fight, not to move up. They're all in the same generation. They're all around the same age. Fight each other. Even Teofimo Lopez fight Devin Haney. But yeah, that George Kambosos guy, overrated. Come on, guys. You guys, I hate when that happens. When so many boxing fans hype him up, and then hype up a fighter, and then he goes in there and gets utterly dominated, and he just goes to show that he was a bum the whole time. Those poor Aussie fans in the audience were humbled because they saw their man get absolutely schooled. Anyway.